All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I first and foremost want to thank you for tuning in today. This is a very important topic. We're going to be talking about succession planning. But I first just want to thank you for joining us. As you know, here at Tidewater, we have been so blessed to build such an incredible business. And we want to surround ourselves and we want other agents and agency owners to be able to surround themselves by other successful people, because what happens when you surround yourself with other successful people, you learn things that can either help you grow your business or protect your business. And today what we're going to be talking about is something that is very important, something that a lot of people don't talk about, and that's protecting your business and minimizing risk in your business. We're going to be talking about succession planning and what it means. There's going to be a piece of this training that is specific for Medicare, and then there's other pieces of this training that are going to be specific to just business in general. Okay. The reason why I'm talking about this is because about 5 years ago, I was exposed to this strategy. And prior to that, I was unaware of what all this really meant. And as you know, folks, the more successful you become, the more people you run into that are also successful, and you can learn from them. That is the purpose of today. The purpose of today is to expose you to things that you might not know about. So let's jump right in. Excuse me. Let's talk about succession planning, part one. Okay. Medicare brokers out there, specific to Medicare Advantage. There are a lot of people out there, a lot of agents out there right now that are getting paid as individuals from the insurance companies, from the Medicare Advantage insurance companies. That is a huge red flag in your business. And I want to tell you why. And I don't understand why a lot of people don't talk about this, but we're going to talk about it. As you know, with Medicare Advantage, you have to complete annual certifications in order to sell, but also to renew your commissions annually. Okay. Now, this is important. If you are paid as an individual and something were to happen to you, as we all know, we don't know when or why the good Lord is going to take us, but one day he will. If you're paid as an individual, this is a problem, because with Medicare Advantage guidelines, in order for the insurance company to be able to pay an entity, that entity has to be certified. Okay. If you're paid as an individual and you pass away, that passes away with you. Okay. It leaves your business at a massive risk. Okay. So now that you know what this means, what do you do next? What are the next steps? Step one, contact us here at Tidewater. We have helped a lot of people with this process. Okay. Because it is a process and there is a cost to it. Okay. Reach out to us. We'll teach you how to do it. But just a really quick overview of how you get this done. One, you apply for an agency license. You get a tax ID number, you get a national producer number. Once you have those, you then assign your commissions to your agency away from you individually. Okay. This sets up your succession plan. So now you're no longer being paid as an individual, you're being paid as an agency. All right. One of the most common questions we get is when you're setting up an agency is how you should set it up. Should you do it as an LLC? Should you do it as an S Corp? How should you set it up? We always recommend that you talk to a tax professional on this. Okay. Because if you have employees, there's going to be a different tax classification that you want to set up. If you don't, if it's just you, then you'll have a different tax classification that you'll need to set up. So make sure that you talk to your your CPA first, a tax professional, and ask them, hey, I'm setting up a company with a tax ID. Here's my current structure. They'll be able to tell you how to set that up. Okay. If you don't have a good CPA, I'm happy to share the one that I personally use. She's amazing. So just let me know. As you can see, you can text me at the bottom here. Okay. Once all that's set up, once your NPN set up for your agency, once your tax ID is set up, you then work to get appointed with the Medicare Advantage carriers, and you assign your business, your commissions to your agency. Okay. So important. minimizes risk in your business. All right, now on to the second piece, because this is something else that I don't see a lot of people talking about. And I'm going to quote my attorney with what he told me about what I'm about to teach you guys. He told me, I hate family trusts. And when I was talking to him about this, I'm going to go in more detail. I said, why do you hate it? And he said, because I don't make any money on trusts. All right. This is a really important thing. Okay, folks, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. I'm all about minimizing risk. Okay. And as a successful person in business, one thing I do not want to happen is when I pass away, I do not want my children to deal with a mess. Okay. And a mess in legal terms is called probate. Okay. So if you're not familiar with probate, you can go look it up. But probate is basically where the courts decide where your assets go. All right. It is a long drawn out process. It is very expensive. Attorneys make a bunch of money. It causes friction in your family. All of this can be avoided. One of the most common things I hear is, well, I can avoid that because I have a will. I have a written will. That's actually not correct. A will can still go into probate in court. Okay. So here's what I recommend. Here's what I personally did is contact an estate attorney and set up a trust. Okay. Yes. You might have heard these terms before: trust fund babies, family trust, irrevocable trust. They're all true. They're to protect your assets so they don't go into probate. So how does this relate to you? You're a successful agency or agent. You're making good money. You have children. You have somebody that you want to leave your assets to. Well, if you don't do it correctly, if you don't set it up now and set it up correctly, all you're going to be doing is leaving a mess because it's going to go into probate. So if you do not have a trust set up, I would highly recommend that you find somebody in your local community that you trust, an estate attorney. If you don't have one, I have one in North Carolina. He personally set mine up. He's in Raleigh. He's fantastic. It was about $2,500. But guess what, folks? I now have the peace of mind knowing that when something happens to me, everything is clearly set out. My kids don't have to go to probate. Everything is clearly defined how my wife and I want it. And it is a massive peace of mind, a massive peace of mind. So get yourself set up with a trust. If you have a will right now, that's cool. But guess what? A will can still go into probate. I learned that. I didn't know that. I thought that if you had a will, you were good, right? It can still go into probate, and probate is messy. So wanted to bring this to you today. I hope that you found it extremely helpful. As you can see here on the bottom of the screen, you can text me if you have questions. I want to reiterate that I am not a professional. I am not licensed to do these things. This is just me telling my story and what I have personally done for myself and what I encourage others to do just based on what I have learned and the way that I have set my personal family up with this. So I hope that this helps you. I hope that this helps minimize risk in your business. It brings you a peace of mind, and it not only eliminates risk in your business, but it also helps you prepare for the future. And it also helps you prepare for the legacy that you're going to leave for your family. This one small thing can cause a massive ripple effect in your family for generations to come. Hope you folks have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Talk to you soon. See ya.